Well, it was quite a wake-up call. We had high winds recently and rain after rainstorm, 3, 4 inches at a pop, and it seems like the other big half of the 70-year-old maple in our backyard had tumbled to the ground. Probably the combination of the heavy rain and the wind. That was just too much for it. But strangely, where it landed was mostly just in my flower bed, not on the grass, not on the fence, not on our house or the neighbors. So that's all good. But yeah, a lot going on here. And it missed the majority of the elderly crabapple trees here, too. They just kind of pushed it aside. But it did leave a big dead limb dangling as well.
And this is where we are now today. We've just got, I don't know why I keep saying we, because I am the gardener. It's me. Was lucky enough to have a crew come by that happened to be in the neighborhood after the storm, and so they were able to remove this tree limb pretty quickly. It is, I look at it as an opportunity, and I'm blessed enough to have an opportunity. I mean, the 70-year-old tree is still there. My garden is still here. There are some things to clean up, of course. But I think this is an example of why perspective is important. The reality is I am very blessed, and I live that every day. That's why I go around with a smile on my face most of the time. I know I am blessed. There are plenty of examples in this country right now where families have not been as blessed, their loved ones gone in a flash because of weather. So perspective is important, and I live that every day. In fact, I just recently lost a friend who was out in her garden working, and suddenly she was gone. Sudden death. I mean, these things, it doesn't make sense. But again, perspective is important. So I know I'm here, blessed enough to be able to work and go forward and make little corrections in my gardens for things that really, it's aesthetics, I rejoice in the fact that I'm here with 2 legs, a strong back, good health, and I'm here doing what I love most, gardening. I hope you are equally blessed. So let's go forward each day with the idea of the blessing that we have, being able to be out here in all this beauty, to enjoy all the trials and tribulations that Mother Nature throws us. We can, at least for small little things like this, we can move forward. There are people, again, who are not so blessed. So I always keep that in mind, no matter what comes my way. All right. Let's get to work.
Well, one of the first things I'll probably have to do is based on where the tree pruning is to this date. So the tree crew came out and they removed the limb where it had broken off, left a little bit remaining here. But they also had to leave this suspended broken part of the tree. It's being held up right now by other tree limbs, but that will have to come down. And it's better if it's taken down instead of just falling down, because that's a killer branch. That is a big, heavy thing. And it's better to take that down in a controlled fashion. But the problem is how they get it up, how they get the equipment into the yard to take it out. It's going to take a crane. It means they'll have to go through our fence, which means moving the arbor that has the sweet autumn clematis, which you can see is about ready to bloom, and also has a rose on that. Mud is a problem right now, so obviously the timing isn't going to work because we've just had too much rain. It's too wet. But maybe in a month or so, I'm hoping after this clematis blooms, and after the robin, by the way, has had her second brood fledge. I learned this as a master gardener, but I didn't realize that it's is legal to mess with a nest of eggs and young ones. There are a couple of species that is not maybe quite such a problem, but certainly robins and so many other songbirds, you can wait to do some of these things until they fledge, and then it's fine. But when I get close to this, the robins, both the male and the female, just dive bomb me. So anything I do in here is going to have to be quick. And the first thing I noticed as I opened this fence to check out the situation was the clematis had kind of slid off of the arbor. I don't know if it was some of the limbs they took through here, snagged the top and pulled it, or maybe just overgrowth from all the rain and that type of thing. But it's a new situation, and I'm clearly going to have to clean it up and pin it up, because this makes the gate impassable. So, oh, and except for if you're a small dog, like a Chihuahua or a Japanese Chin, or a very small child. But yeah, so with the two boys on standby as the robins kept dive bombing us, I knew I had to trim this sweet autumn clematis quickly and efficiently. So rather than just hand shears to nip off one little stem at a time to carve out a path, and she's not happy about it. She's in the tree above here, squawking and then occasionally dive bombing. I just decided to get some shears and take those to it too. So quickly here, maybe not quite this fast, but you know what I mean. Take the shears, create an opening, and then the other clematis that was in there just fell. So I wound that back into the arbor. And all's well that ends well. And then the robin is happy. And we're out of her hair. Of course, the problem wasn't just that arbor, but the north arbor. After the storm, I was investigating more, and I could see, well, my morning glory doing just fine, but, which is here on the other side of the arbor. But what is this on the top? Oh, well, this used to be my Tangutica. They call it Clematis dieback, and it can happen really fast. So one of the other clematis here, the blue light clematis, is fine. You see the green leaves, but all the brown here, that's Tangutica. So this can be caused by too much water or a fungal disease. It doesn't mean necessarily that the clematis is dead. It just means, though, you're going to have to remove it, often pretty close down to the ground. But it gets to be tricky because the blue light was partially wound around some of the Tangutica. So I do have to take it back quite a bit, but I have to be careful in how I do it because this is why you plant clematis deep, because of dieback, which can happen quickly. We've had just so much rain here, but if you plant it deep, the roots are alive. It's just the top that dies. So, the key is removing as much of this as you can, leave about maybe a foot or so above the ground. It will reflush, so often it will. I mean, mostly that's what happens. So I, took my pruners to this and carefully unwound blue light from the other part of Tangutica. Well, that's about as far back as I can take Tangutica at this point. But I feel like at least it was needed. It was good timing. It's a little bit cooler today, mostly. The humidity is 70%, so don't get me wrong. But this is good time to not add more stress and more insult to injury here. Whether it's planting something, pruning something, you don't want to do it in the glare of the noonday sun on the hottest day, in other words. But, Tangutica, I'm confident will come back. And if nothing else, here's what else is a sign, I guess, from Mother Nature, or from Tangutica anyway, that she will survive. With a little Tangutica seedling here, just kind of propping up. So I'll leave her there and feed her into this side of the trellis. Yeah, talk about kismet. So if I do end up losing her on one side, at least I have her right here, a little seedling, along with my morning glory, who of course is going to swamp everything in her path. But I think I will continue to get flowers over my clematis arch, which is also good. I do hope all is well in your little corner of the world.
that things are green and growing, that you and your family are healthy, and hopefully out there gardening together. Thanks for joining me here on Milkweeds and Roses. I hope you do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, tell me if you've had any problems with your clematis dying back, if storms have had an impact on your garden and how you deal with that. It's all just part of gardening, and we're all lucky to be able to do that. So let's go outside every day and embrace Mother Nature and rejoice in the many blessings that we do have. Thanks for joining me.